Welcome, I'm Melinda Kilami. Tonight, yet again, suspected herdsmen strike in Benue State, killing 11 people in Tombo village in Logo local government area. Inspector General of Police raising security alert levels in Benue and River State, says more security operatives will be deployed to track the perpetrators. Large turnout of voters recorded in Delta State Council poll as violence mars the exercise in Ugeli local government area. And at least 8 migrants drowned with 84 rescued after a dinghy sank off the coast of Libya.
On Business News tonight, Nigeria's foreign exchange reserves climbed further to over $39 billion, gained $12.9 billion in a year.
And in sports news, Brazil forward Felipe Coutinho finally joins FC Barcelona from Liverpool as both parties reached an agreement on his transfer.
We begin with the report of a fresh attack on Tombo village in Logo local council area of Benue State, where at least 11 people have been reported dead. The attack comes less than 24 hours after the Inspector General of Police deployed a team of officers led by the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations to the state for ground and aerial surveillance. The governor, Samuel Otombu, confirmed the incident in Logo this morning, says more than 40,000 people have been displaced from their homes.
Less than 24 hours after this video showing an aerial patrol of troubled areas in Benue State was released, residents of Logo local government council area again woke up to the news of the horrific murder of 11 people on Saturday. But this time in Tombo village near the troubled areas, where more than 30 people were killed on January the 2nd, Governor Samuel Otom confirmed the attack. 11 people were killed in Logo local government. 2 days back, 4 persons were killed in Goma local government. And this has continued. There and then, the joint Benue socio-cultural groups headed for a meeting where they condemned the comments made by the Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris, who had described the killings as a communal clash instead of an attack by herdsmen. They are asking him to retract the statement and as well calling on the United Nations and the American government to help Benue indigents from the clutches of the marauding herdsmen.
We want any assistance from anywhere in the world to avert the killings in Benue State. And we are calling on the United Nations, United States, the European Union, the African Union, and any other person to come to our aid before we are killed in this place.
However, the Benue State Police Commissioner, Mr. Bashir Makama, is calling for calm. He says the situation is already under control, and his men have increased surveillance to remote areas.
Today has been calm. This is what happened yesterday before the deployment, and because of the terrain, because of the distance, because of the nature of that locality, the information is just trickling in. That is why I said already, now that we have identified these places, all those loopholes have been blocked. We don't expect to hear anything again.
The indigents of the state, particularly those largely affected by the attacks, can only expect immediate solutions to their predicament. As it seems, the attacks are beginning to defy solutions.
The Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, has raised the security alert level in Benue and River State and ordered the commissioners of police in charge of those states and neighboring states to execute the order. The Supervising Assistant Inspector General of Police and their personnel have also been directed to up their game to prevent further attacks. A statement from the force headquarters explains that the Deputy Inspector General of Police Operations is now in Benue State to coordinate the implementation of the new security strategies there. While calling for calm and support for the police personnel, the force implores the people to be vigilant and report suspicious acts to the relevant authorities. Meanwhile, a fresh attack by gunmen has also been reported in Luru community of Tere local government area of Adamawa State, northeast Nigeria. The Commissioner of Police, Abdullahi Yarima, has confirmed the incident but said he's yet to get the details and the casualty figure. The attack, which took place last night, comes after several people were killed in similar attacks in communities in Numan local government area of the state. The attacks by herdsmen in Benue State and other parts of the north has continued to generate discussions on the high level of insecurity in the country as more Nigerians add their voices to the possible solutions. A security expert, Laddie Thompson, believes a regional force should be set up to tackle the scourge, while a former director of the Department of State Service, Mike Ejiofor, wants those investigating the crisis to dig deeper. Both men were speaking on our weekend program, Sunrise Today.
Before the attacks are made, there are no reported cases of clash between the herdsmen and the farmers. The attacks are well coordinated, planned, and executed without. And the worst of it was that arrests are hardly made until recently. After the attack in Benue, that 6 people were arrested. And I was surprised that the police also rushed to charge these people to court. I am of the opinion that they should be debriefed to know their involvement. Is it beyond herdsmen and farmers' clash? What are their aims and objectives? We have been coexisting. There has been this normal relationship between the Fulani herdsmen, apart from where you see that their farms are destroyed. Measures are put in place to resolve the crisis. But a situation where these herdsmen go fully armed with sophisticated arms, killing people, unprovoked attack, it calls for worry, for real concern. And I believe government should take adequate measures. Why are we talking about cattle rearers, nomadic cattle rearers in this modern age? It's even an embarrassment, and it shows that we stopped thinking a long time ago. Looking at the blood spill, looking at the bloodshed and the value to human worth, and seeing that there is some enemy somewhere thinking well and exploiting all our fault lines, we need to put up our thinking caps and let us organize these regional defense structures. The lowest common factor of all these things we're seeing across the country is the low value of human worth, which is not the result of just one political dispensation. It is a tree that has been growing for years. And this is where we have to, with equanimity, without emotions, without looking for just human enemies alone. We need to draw up an overarching strategy and implement.
Nigerians woke up to stories of different attacks in some parts of the country on New Year's Day, and since then, the stories have not changed, opening up a new conversation on what government should be doing to put an end to this menace. From Rivers to Kwara, Benue, Kaduna and Adamawa states, there have been tales of woe, and the identity of the perpetrator still remains a mystery.
Since 2013, over 1,500 people are reported to have been killed by men suspected to be herdsmen in Benue State and other parts of the country. Records show that at least 14 out of the 23 local government areas in Benue have been invaded at one time or the other. But Benue Northeast Senatorial District appears to be the worst hit. The Agatu attack of February 29th last year sparked a public outcry. Recent attacks by suspected herdsmen have targeted Tomata Village in Sangev Council Ward, Akor Village in Zorov Council Ward, and Bakin Kwata Village in Umanga Council Ward of Guma Council by suspected herdsmen. The latest onslaught on communities in Logo local government area has changed this narrative, putting the food basket of the nation under global spotlight and calling the government's attention to what has been described as a deliberate attempt by militia to chase innocent citizens from their ancestral homes. The tension heightened shortly after Governor Samuel Ortom announced the enforcement of the anti-grazing law, which prohibits open grazing by herdsmen and prescribed ranching of cattle as a better option. Even though the law is meant to hound violators, the reverse is the case, as it seems the violators of the law are fighting back, bringing tears to the faces of the people which the law is meant to protect. Even the livestock guards employed to enforce the law have been caught on the back foot, as at least 9 of them have been killed so far by suspected herdsmen. For Governor Samuel Ortom, the options have narrowed drastically.
Innocent women and children were killed. This is not fair. And I think this is where the federal government must come in immediately to stop this, because these people are known.
That outcry appears to have been heard by the federal government.
Those who carried out these acts are less than human. The federal government has given instruction to heads of security agencies to bring them out so that they can face the right of the law.
There are many unanswered questions, though, particularly for the security agencies. Why have many more of the attackers not been arrested? Rivers State in the south-south region of the country has had its own share of security challenges. The New Year's Day attack in the state, which claimed the lives of 16 persons, is still fresh in the minds of Nigerians. Other states that have witnessed one attack or the other in recent times include Enugu, Ekiti, Adamawa, Imo, Zamfara, Kaduna, and Delta.
The herdsmen attacks actually show us that, look, this issue of our border in control almost, but border security is a major challenge. And number 3, the proliferation of weapons. I don't know if you heard when the Benue state governor was talking about it and said these guys were armed to the T. And we see this, in fact, also with the armed bandits that carry out kidnapping, etc. These guys are armed. These are weapons that are coming from the Sahel, other parts of Africa, into Nigeria. So we may not realize it, but a lot of these herdsmen attacks actually kind of is an issue with our border control.
Clearly, governments at all levels of the country have their jobs cut out for them to put an end to this trail of bad news that has dominated the headlines just days into the new year.
And still on security matters, residents of Undoro community in Ekeremo local government area of Bayelsa State are fleeing their village for fear of being caught in a perceived crossfire between the military and some hoodlums. This follows the killing of a military personnel allegedly by some militants in the community. But the Bayelsa State government is assuring them that there is no cause for alarm as the issues have been resolved, and it has been agreed that the military will move into the community and restore order there while the government begins a peace process. The Joint Task Force is yet to issue an official statement regarding the situation, and when contacted by our correspondent, the coordinator of the Joint Media Campaign Center of the JTF, Major Ibrahim Abdullahi, declined to comment. The residents of Undoro community are yet to return to their homes as they say the loud silence of the JTF contradicts the assurance of their safety. In part 2, after the break, more on the challenge of insecurity in the country. We have a retired military officer, Major General Cecil Esakaibe, live from our Abuja studios to analyze the situation. Please stay with us.